Originally conceived as a My Little Pony fighting game, Them Fighting Herds has now made its way to Steam in early access. But is this a fantastic furry fighting fiesta, or should this one be herded off a cliff? Them Fighting Herds started off as Fighting is Magic based on My Little Pony Friendship is Magic, but then after a cease and desist, they went on with the project anyway with help from the developer and producer of My Little Pony Friendship is Magic, Lauren Faust. What we end up getting in the end though is a very colorful, well-animated fighting game with a potential to be a lot of fun, whether it be competitive or casually. Currently included in the game is the single-player arcade and versus mode, multiplayer matches both local and online, though there is no quick match or ranked match yet, as well as the Pixel Lobby, which you're able to explore and interact with others that are in there in a chat feature, train, and also be able to do one-on-one matches. Arcade mode is pretty standard, of you facing off against each of the other members of the roster, and if you're able to conquer them all, you'll face off the boss at the end before going back to the main menu. There's no story or anything yet. The story mode will be a separate thing added later on. It's already implemented a little bit, so you can kind of get a sneak preview, and it looks like you'll slowly play through several levels as one character and then switch to another as the story progresses. The game's roster is pretty diverse and consists of 6 characters currently. I'm not sure if there are any plans to add more down the line. Thankfully, the game includes a ton of color schemes per character, so you can at least make it look a little bit different even if you're fighting the same character. When the fighting begins, it's a 4-button fighting system using a low, medium, and high attack as well as a magic attack for each character. The action itself though is fast-paced, it's easy to pick up and play, but of course will take a little bit of mastering in order to get some of the longer combos, but pulling off something like a 4 or 5 or more hit combo really isn't that difficult even for beginners, and that's something that I ended up enjoying about the game. The game doesn't take it easy on you though if you're playing single player, and if you jump in the arcade, you'll probably find the AI beating you pretty bad at first. There are a lot of different difficulties to tweak things, but I think the default difficulty should have been set a little bit easier. But it didn't take long to find a character that I was enjoying and able to string together some really nice combos to start winning matches against both the AI and jumping online in the multiplayer. I was also able to start doing pretty good. And if you get tired with beating up the AI or others, you can also do the target mode. Here it's similar to Super Smash Bros., where you have a group of targets you have to destroy in the fastest amount of time using all of your character's abilities, and each character has multiple versions of the target practice. While I think currently the most fun to have online is probably in the whole Pixel Lobby thing, the online though itself, if you just want to jump on the multiplayer, you can easily create a lobby. I didn't run into any really major lag or any sort of real issue as far as connecting to others, but it's pretty standard fare. What shines the most for me though is presentation. The animation for the characters is fantastic with a lot of great expressions when they're taking damage and doing moves, a joy to look at for sure, and the soundtrack is quite enjoyable as well. It's using a dynamic soundtrack, so it changes up depending upon who's fighting, the level, and what's going on in the fight, so it just adds that bit of immersiveness to the overall fighting. The only real technical issues I ran into the game was some of the voice syncing before matches when your characters are talking to one another really wasn't synced up that well, and sometimes it would also cut off at the end of a match because the sound clip was too long and the game ended up moving on to the next round quickly. Them Fighting Herds is available now on Steam for $14.99. Keep in mind, of course, it's early access, so they will be tweaking the game, adding new features, including the story mode and other stuff as the game goes on. If need be, I will go back and do another review later on once story mode has launched and give my full opinion, but for now, I'm going to be giving Them Fighting Herds a 7 out of 10. But anyway guys, I'm going to wrap up this review. I'd like to thank you for watching, and of course, I hope you enjoyed.